Well, it's a Monday morning. It's officially summer.
Feels like it.
Oh my God, doesn't it? It's so dreadful. We're going to be working into the core today. We're going to be working the whole body, but we will be centered around the core from the beginning, intermittently through the middle, and then let it rest at the end. The solar plexus is the place of our inner fire. The fire is the element for summer. In fact, I went to this sacred circle last night in East Nashville, and we were honoring the element of fire. We were honoring the fact that it's summer, and we did this invocation for Kali and this fire ceremony, and it was really cool. But God, it was dreadfully hot. It was like, whew. Anyway, so
was at the concert already yesterday.
You were?
No, Kaylee was at the concert in Centennial Park. She did my B-Day anthem.
Yeah, that's one of those concerts where you don't mind if they spray you down with the water hose. Well, what I wanted to speak about today doesn't really concern that necessarily. It concerns the ascension that we're going through right now. And I've talked about this at certain times since 2020, because we're still going through it. We're going through this ascension, and so much is happening with the planet. And I've already mentioned in the past the Schumann resonance, which is the electromagnetic pulse of the earth. It's like the earth's heartbeat. It has dramatically changed in the last few years. And that's energy. You know, the pulsation is the energy of the earth. And we are energetic beings. So we are sensitive to that. And so as the planet's changing its energy, we are also changing energetically as well. So the Schumann resonance spiked astronomically last week. And I wanted to bring that up because personally, I enjoy the turning of the seasons. I enjoy celebrating the solstice. You know, if you look at any indigenous tribes, they really honor the solstice. If you look at shamanism, they really honor this time. If you look at ancient civilizations, their structures and buildings were designed specifically around things that were happening astrologically. And we've lost that along the way, but now it's starting to come back in. And with that summer solstice last week, I was excited because it's the longest day of daylight in the year. I was really, I'm always hopeful. I'm always a romantic optimist. And I was just like really excited about that day last week. And then when it arrived, I was drained. I felt energetically drained. I felt emotionally drained. And part of it was due to my dad's health and rushing to North Carolina a couple weeks ago. Part of it was due to my son turning 16 and having that mommy moment of, oh, another piece of letting go, because now I can, you know, drive away. So part of it was an emotional thing for me, but it was also an energetic thing that I couldn't shake. And I was listening to someone who's an actual astrologer who was going into depth about some of this. And I wanted to share what I learned. And it's not different than some of the other things I've shared, but she was saying with some of the ascension symptoms that's happening with the Schumann resonance spiking, with the solar flares coming, with the planet actually spinning faster, which is us moving through a photon belt in the universe, all these changes that are occurring are perhaps making us feel, and everyone will be different, I'm having more headaches. I'm not a person prone to headaches, but I'm getting more headaches. I've been wanting to blame menopause for it, but it is actually an ascension symptom. So headaches, and it's your body adjusting to the energy coming in. It can be a sense of overwhelm, depression. So I don't know about you, but I'm sensing, you know, more people are even opening up and saying they're more depressed right now. And so depression, more sensitive, heightened sensitivity coming in, being more empathic, you know, so all of us have a level of empathy, and some of us are more empathic than others, but while we're ascending to this next level, it's going to happen to everyone. We're all going to become more sensitive, more empathetic, more psychic, more telepathic, all of these things. And my family gets really upset with me because they say, not really upset, that's being a little dramatic, but they laugh at me because sometimes I'll say something to them and I'm like, don't you, I'm talking to you telepathically. I just need to give you a little verbiage. Like, I don't need to give you a lot of words. And my son and I used to have this connection really strong, but now that he's a teenager, it's not on point anymore. And so anyway, I'm trying to be more conscious about that with my family. Like, okay, use my words instead of just sending it out in brainwaves, you know? So we're gonna focus on the fact that last week was the summer solstice, which is the halfway point in the year. And a nice thing to do during this time frame is to reflect on what has happened in the first 6 months of this year. For instance, what goals or dreams or things that you wanted to accomplish, are you still on that path? Has it already happened? Have you forgotten about it? Did you deviate from it? Do you need to come back to it? So reflect on that, but the most important piece I want you to reflect on is, if you were with me at the beginning of this year, I was talking about the astrology report for 2023 and the numerology report for this year. And I love doing those reports because even though they're different sciences, the message always comes together and intersects. And so one thing that I was speaking about for this year, it's supposed to be a year of massive healing internally for yourself at an individual level. But as we work individually, it will affect the collective. And there's also things that we're going to be healing at the collective level. So let me say one more thing and then we'll get started on lighting up our inside with this core work, getting that fire burning. If more light is hitting us with solar flares and this photon belt, I want you to think about when more light is shining, it shines light on the shadow aspect within. We all have the light and the dark, you know? And so if you're noticing things in your own psyche, in your own heart, things that you may not ever even share to your most beloved or your best friend, know that this is coming up for a reason. This light is making us more aware of it to know what needs to be healed. At the collective level, it's pretty obvious. More light's coming and it's revealing what was hidden before, what was lurking in the shadows. More light is coming to reveal the evil and the darkness that has been here all along, you know? So look at it as a good thing. Be that romantic optimist about, even though we're seeing it and it's ugly and it's not something that any of us want to be, you know, engaged with, it's happening for a reason, so it can heal. We have to know about it. We have to accept it before we can change it. So the other thing I want you to focus on is, what have you been healing individually this year? Or what have you noticed that needs to be healed? I was so proud of myself last week because some of you heard me talking to Stephanie. I just said I got attacked from one of my sisters through a text about, you know, not really being there for my dad right now. And I'm going every 3 months. That's the best I can do. But when I got that 6 months ago, I would have been texting right back, kind of defending myself or trying to make her feel better about where she's at with it and showing all this gratitude and appreciation to kind of turn her attitude around. And I just decided, you know what? She obviously is stressed out. She's really burnt out. And I had to take the hit. And I let the hit bounce off of me instead of taking it personally. personally, because I realize I'm not inundated every day, day in and day out like she is. And she's comfortable saying that to me because I'm her sister. And I didn't have to say anything. I don't need to say anything. I just need to let it breathe. So that was like, ooh, I've been healing this. That was a sign for me. Okay, I'm getting stronger with it. I don't have to react. So hopefully me sharing that story will give you kind of an idea about yourself as we recline on our back. So let's begin. So when you come to a supine position, it may be better for you to have the knees bent, or you do a little scooping of the belly, a little tucking of the tailbone. Although some of you might feel better with your legs extended out in front of you, where you're getting the natural curve in your low back. Some of you may feel the desire or the need to bring the soles of the feet to meet, to start to open up the hips. So choose one of those three options to start with, and you can even play around with those movements to see how your body responds. Close your eyes. And take a moment just to notice whether or not you're truly in your body. Because sometimes we're somewhere else. Or we're up in our headspace. So maybe at first, just feel your body resting on your mat. Feel the clothing wrapped around your body. Feel the air coming in to your nose, filling up your lungs, and the escape of the air as it exits. And now that you're tuning into your breath, deepen the flow of the breath, because the awareness and the control of the breath can really put you down deeper into your body and more specifically into your heart. Take these deep diaphragmatic breaths. We're going to be beginning with some core work. So if you're in supine butterfly, you're going to lift the knees and flatten the soles of the feet. If your legs are straightened out, you're just going to bend your knees, lining your ankles underneath them. Everyone bring your arms beside your body with your palms down turned, shoulders descending away from your ears. And on your next in-breath, spread your toes, press down through the soles of the feet. Circle the arms alongside your ears and lift your pelvis skyward. As you exhale, you're going to lower down one vertebra at a time. The arms are going to circle around as well. Let your sacrum and hands touch the floor simultaneously. Inhale, allow the initiation of that breath to begin the movement into bridge, Setu Bandhasana. And then as you exhale, you're going to roll down one vertebra at a time. So each time you lift up on your inhale, put a little bit more applied pressure to the mound of the big toe. This will keep the knees aligned, but it'll also help to strengthen the knees by strengthening the inner quadricep muscle. The core work comes in when you're rolling down to your back at a nice, slow, deliberate pace. Also feel the firming of the glutes. The ignition of the hamstrings and your back muscles as you rise. On your next rollout, when you come down, you're going to switch to abdominal breath flow, meaning that your arms circling around are going to find your feet as you scrunch in like a cannonball. And then inhale, flatten the feet, arms overhead, rising back to bridge. Exhale, amping up the core work by working the rectus abdominis muscles. Try not to strain your neck to lift your head off the floor. That should come in naturally with the core work. Squeezing the belly in towards the back. Let's do one more abdominal bridge flow. Stay in your cannonball when you arrive. And again, make sure you're not straining any neck muscles. Take your left hand to hold your left shin. Send your right leg out and take your right hand to the front of that left ankle. And now scoop and lift. Inhale, swap. Exhale, scoop and lift. This is the new flow. Your head will lower when you swap the legs. You'll pump the belly and rise up higher as you breathe out. So think about when we're doing that diaphragmatic breath. On the inhale, it balloons out. On the exhale, the belly retracts in. So when you're doing core work, you want to come up on that exhale. We're going to end on the right side. And then you're going to stretch the body out into an X shape. So now that we've been working into those center abdominal muscles, spread your body out. Stretch out the abdomen here. So that inner fire helps to fuel our passion, our motivation, our drive, our courage, our perseverance. All right, on your next breath in, you're going to be here, but as you breathe out, you're going to lift your right arm, left leg up. It's okay if you can tap the foot, but please don't struggle to do that, as long as they're coming towards each other. Inhale lays you down, and the exhale, you're alternating limbs, right leg, left arm, and then left leg, right arm. And you're keeping the head on the floor right now. And you want to work slowly and methodically with your core, that lower abdomen specifically, as well as your hip flexors and shoulders. So try not to kick or flare the legs up towards the heavens. And then just as we amped up the last couple, we're going to amp up this. This time when you bring the left leg, right arm up, pick the head up and cross over your midline, work the side obliques, inhale, release, and then swap sides, lifting the head, crossing over the midline. And if that hurts or strains your neck whatsoever, you can leave it out. You're still getting benefit with the head down. So this is not meant to be aerobic. So stay mindful. you're slow and steady with it, it can actually build more strength, more endurance. All right, we're gonna end with the right leg, left arm. Whenever you get there, lay yourself back down into this X shape. In Yin, we actually call this pentacle pose, or you could call it the star pose. Let's bring the feet closer together and point the feet forward. Bring the arms back alongside the ears and do a morning stretch. Exaggerate that curvature naturally through the lower back. And then exhale, hug both knees into your belly and chest. So notice with that morning stretch, we had that exaggerated curve, and now we're flattening it down. Feel as though you're giving yourself a hug here, embracing yourself for the bravery to be here at this time with all these massive changes. It's part of our soul contract, and most of us are volunteers during this time. Affirming here as you hold, I release all my scattered energy to rise up and away into the sky. All right, we're gonna roll over to one side of the body, casually pick ourselves up, and I'll meet you at the top of the mat. When you arrive at the top of the mat, you're gonna broaden the base of your feet. Bring your hands to prayer position. Firm up your legs, lift through the navel center, chin parallel to the mat, and look straight ahead with your eyes. Set your own personal intention for being here today, which may be similar or apart from our collective intention or theme. All right, when you're ready, you're gonna bend your knees, back your thigh bones up, sweep the arms up alongside your ears. Roll the pinkies in, lift up through your side traps, and then we're gonna do a little breath work here. Exhale, sweep it out. Inhale, bring it up. Yes, and feel free to use that cleansing breath. And when you're doing this action with your body, think about, as energetic beings, we're constantly absorbing energy from the universe, energy from our environment, energy from other people. It may be trapped in your body. It may be trapped in your aura field. Think of this as a cleansing. One more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold down and in. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, step it back to plank. Exhale, rock it forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. So the core work started to ignite that inner fire, and the sun salutation is also meant to ignite the inner fire. We're going to do a couple more A sun salutes before we dive into some standing poses. We're also going to be working on balance today. Use your breath to stay centered, to stay focused. Inhale, you can meditationally walk, lunge, or float your feet to the top of the mat to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're going to continue two more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold down and in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, bow out. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and open the heart and throat. Exhale, rock and roll back. All right, so while you're here, let's focus on our form a little. Spread out the fingers, press into the mound of the hands, the more padded place in your palms, and slightly dial the hands away from each other. And when you slightly dial the hands away, it may feel more pronounced at the root of the index finger and thumbs. Feel the upper arm bones rolling out. Create more space in between each vertebra. Instead of dropping your heels low, press into the balls of the feet and lift your sits bones higher. Gaze in the direction of the feet. Continue to breathe. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana at the top. Exhale, fold back into center. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, step it back, plank. Shoulders over wrist. Exhale, pass the wrist as you drop. Inhale, pelvis off the floor. Exhale, curl the toes, pull in from your navel. In these quieter moments, feel free to reflect. What have you accomplished this year? What have you been working on healing this year? Inhale, feet align at the top of the mat. Look out with your eyes. Exhale, release. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause for a moment, close the lids of the eyes. Salutations to the sun, to the awakening light within us all, and to the dawning of a much higher state of consciousness and all beings. All right, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana, your chair pose. Exhale, pull straight down, Uttanasana. Inhale, look out. Exhale, we're stepping back and going to Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. All right, this is where we're gonna start switching it up. We're gonna begin looking at where the feet are located and maybe walking them a little closer together. So there's just a few inches in between. On your next in-breath, the left leg's gonna lift into Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you exhale, cheetah, nose towards knee, shoulders come back over the wrists. Inhale, flare that left leg up and back, one-legged down dog. Exhale, cheetah. One more. After scrunching in, you're gonna inhale, take the left leg up and back, and allow that left foot to come all the way forward and up. Yeah. Offset your right foot, plant it down. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. So that front knee's lunging, back foot's pressing, feel the stretch in your back calf muscles, and make sure you can see the big toe on that front foot. From Virabhadrasana 1, the spine's more vertical, but then we're gonna wrap the right arm under the left. We're gonna create our eagle arms. Mold the two together. As you exhale, you're gonna hinge forward. It's not humble warrior. So we're not trying to drop the head to the inside of the knee. We're just becoming more parallel to the earth. From here, we're gonna peel the back foot off the floor. We're gonna hook the right leg around the left And then we need to lift the heart and arms back up. Now we're in the eagle pose. If you have another expression you want to take, feel free. I want you to hone in on the affirmation, affirm it within. At the center of life's storms, I remain calm and serene. Now we're going to release and spread our wings. We're going to push down through the left foot, bring the right knee up, kind of like karate kid. But then we're going to slowly push the right heel back, airplane pose. Look down. Choose to stay here or still the hands to the floor blocks into standing split. The hips will turn open, the right foot pointed, and then bend that front knee, lower the back foot down, and notice the hands are more ahead. So walk your hands back to frame that front foot. Yeah, now that you're back in lunge, left foot plank. Or flying plank if you want to amp it up. Exhale, chaturanga or flying chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. This is where we reclaim our breath in case we lost it along the way. Look at the space between the big toes, narrow it up so that you can inhale, lift your right leg, push out through that right heel as if it's an extension of your spine, and then cheetah as you breathe out. 2 more. Inhale, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, and then exhale to cheetah. 1 more. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, swing that foot through. Offset the back foot, plant it down. When you're ready, bring the upper body up. Pinkies can roll in. Front thigh can roll out. Back thigh can roll to the front. All right, left arm circles under the right. Back of the hands or palms coming to meet. Breathing. You know where we're headed, so as you exhale, lean forward. Now, gently shift your weight. Hook left leg over the right. And then lift your arms and look out in front. Center of life storms, I choose to remain calm and serene. Unhook the arms, spread your wings, push down through the right foot, lift that left knee. When you're ready, fly. Hands down if you want in standing splits. Yogi's choice there. Bending the front knee, tapping the left foot down, walking the hands back in place. All right, right foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Into up dog. Exhale down. All right, yogi's choice to meditationally walk. Take that giant step and lunge or float the feet together. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, let go. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, stand up, hands over heart. Take a couple of deep breaths. So the idea is to bring the courage, the confidence, the flames of your passion
and desires up into the heart space. Because if we just dwell in the solar plexus, that's the ego, the seat of our personality, our likes, our dislikes, which keeps us polarized and separate and divided. When we come to the heart, it's about unification. All right, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, little pick me up. Exhale, you can bounce right into chaturanga or you can pass through plank. Taking that vinyasa. Stepping your feet a little closer together today. That'll help us with balance and alignment for where we're going next. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee to the outside of the left arm as you shift forward like plank. Good, inhale, sail back. Exhale, draw that knee in towards the left arm. Power through here. Now step the left foot through between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Once you find your footing, and balance, I'm a little off today. Come to crescents. All right, from our crescent, we're gonna lift and shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. We're gonna lace the hands in this mudra. I've heard it called temple, I've heard it called Jupiter, I've heard it called Kali. Once you have the mudra at the top, you're gonna lift through your floating ribs. And then you're gonna bow your head and shoulders back. If that's too much, you can leave it out. All right, from here, let go of the back bend, come back so the spine direct. Lean forward like we did earlier, except we're going into walking stick. Similar to warrior 3. Breathe. Choose to be here or free fall down, standing split. Yogi's choice. Bend that front knee, lower the back foot down, hands front of the foot, vinyasa. Remember, you can always amp it up to the flying form. Once we return to downward facing dog, walk the feet a little closer. Form that relationship with breath. Affirming I'm strong and resilient. I am in the process of healing my inner child and old wounds. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, right knee to right arm, shift forward. Good, continue. It's getting steamy in here. Right foot through. Ball the back foot. Arms lift. I did the same flow at another studio yesterday in the 85 degrees. And the 85 is not that bad actually, until it's summertime and it's humid. And I had sweat coming down my eyes and nose, it was kind of gross. All right, mudra at the top. Lift through the floating ribs. Bow the head, shoulders back. If that's not great for your iliopsoas or your back, maintain a straight back. All right, now we shift forward and lift the back leg. Walking stick or standing split. Bend the front knee, tap the back foot down, frame it with your hands. You can take flying plank to flying chaturanga if you want to amp it up, or keep both feet on the floor. Once we return, to this inversion, know that there is a cooling aspect, and it's here. You can temper the fire with forward folds and inversions. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat, however you want to arrive. And release the head and heart. Inhale, Utkatasana. And then come back to stand, hands over heart, close your eyes. So don't want this to become too aerobic, but feel your heartbeat. Mine's racing, but I'm also talking in the mix. So let's slow it down with breath. Remember, this practice is meant to go above and beyond the physical. It's not meant to be a workout, but a meditative work in. That's the true yoga. Tap in and connect to yourself, to your heart, to your soul. Open the eyes. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fall down. In and pop up. Out to chaturanga, whatever you want to get there. Continue that vinyasa flow. Forming that narrow space between the big toes. Because now we inhale, lift the left leg up. And as we exhale, it's going to go under the belly, crossing over to the right arm. You got it. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to right arm. Then the left leg lifts, and we step the foot through. All right, you're not offsetting the back foot, you're just laying it down. Your left hand can come to the inside of the foot, or you can elevate the elbow to rest on the knee. But we're opening up to this variation today of side angle, where the right arm's going straight above you and not across the ear. There's a reason for this. I want you to feel right now the way your upper body is open towards the windows. We're going to take ourselves there when we're in airplane pose. So think about when we're in airplane pose, I want us to become like the Blue Angels, where we tip one wing down and have one arm up. And it's going to be the right arm up on the side, okay? So now, bring the hands back down to frame the foot. Roll back to the ball of the back foot. Inhale, climb up, crescent. Right now, we're going to splay our wings open. Lean forward to lift the airplane. And you're going to dip the left wing down, the right arm up. You can hover that left hand for challenge. You can lower it for balance. All right, back to airplane. Back to lunge. Isn't that fun? Left foot plank or flying plank. Exhale, chaturanga. So I was bummed out. The Blue Angels were just in Smyrna, and I missed it. And I've always wanted to see them. Someone said they come here once a year.
I think so.
All right, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee to left arm. You'll be happy to know this is our last one's out. Or I'm happy to know it. Remember, don't rush it. Use your breath. Right foot steps through. Back heel immediately just lowers. Right hand to the inside, left arm skyward. If that's too much, back it up. Elbow to knee. And it's only 74 in here. We may have,
With 97% maybe.
yeah, you know, I'm tripping.
I'm glad I'm on my own.
And before we transition to the next pose, affirm mentally, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. Bring the hands down, spin off the back heel. I listened to a person this morning who channels the angels, come up to Preston. And this past year, the angels were saying there's going to be an earth rift and a big thing to happen in the water. Some people thought it was what happened. What was that island near Australia? Can't remember. But some people think, no, it's going to be more in the Indian Ocean. It's going to be a major big player change. Let's go ahead and hinge forward. I'll tell you the next thing they were saying after Blue Angel. Let's just call this Blue Angel. It's like half moon. Tip your right wing back up. Bring it back to lunge. Last vinyasa. So while you're in down dog, I'll tell you. If you need child's pose, take that as well. So the new message that she received from the angels, and I think this is important, I want to share, whether you believe in angels or not, this can give us hope. That there's going to be this massive wave of energy that may be coming from a solar flare, maybe from another source, but it holds a lot of divine energy. And they're predicting this will be the next major shift for humanity. Because as the energy comes in, we can either resist it or accept it. If we receive it and accept it willfully, then it can awaken our kundalini. It can bring us more enlightenment. That sounds good, doesn't it? All right, inhale, feet to the top of the mat. Holding after your half lift. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands up. I meant to tell you all to get blocks, but you don't necessarily need blocks for this. If you want your hands to touch the floor, that's fine too. I like using blocks for this one though. So the blocks are going to go ahead of the toes. At a distance, like you would be from your knees to your wrist in tabletop. So think about that type of measurement. And go ahead and place your hands on top of the blocks. Now, my ex-husband came to one of my classes years ago, and he wasn't in the habit of using blocks with yoga because he has super open hamstrings. But he left the class saying his wrists were hurting, and I noticed while he was practicing, he had a death grip on the block. So I don't want you to have that death grip on the block because I don't want you to, strain your wrists. They're just resting there like they would on the floor, okay? Now take your right leg up and back. Have your sacrum even, parallel. Exhale, bend the standing knee, nose towards knee. Inhale, open up. Exhale, contract your core. One more. Inhale, flare it back, and now release the right foot. Inhale, lift your left leg back behind you. Your neck elongates as well. Exhale, contract and curl. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, curl. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower the left foot. Okay. Rest here for a moment. Now look at your feet. Your feet are lined up with the blocks, correct? You're gonna walk your right foot closer to your left. So the toes are facing that space between the blocks, all right? You're gonna tuck your left knee behind your right knee and start to bend it. All right, and once you're on the ball of that back foot, use your blocks for stability. Your right foot crosses over to the outside and you're gonna sink towards your knees. You got it. And then push back away from the blocks and sit back. Did that work out? If it didn't, you can come in it another way. Okay. Oh, my hair is sticking to my body. Whew. I want us just to sit upright for a moment. Both sits bones should be equally touching the floor. And there are days and moments in time where we need to assess where we're at here instead of just getting in the habit of folding forward. Like yesterday when I was on this side, I could fold forward, but I actually felt more sitting up. Okay, so just assess it. And now lift up through your chest. Exhale, start to hinge and fold. And if you felt more before, then back up.
What exactly are you feeling?
What's that?
Where is it supposed to feel?
You're so limber. You're not.
Where is it?
She's so hypermobile.
I don't feel much.
I know you don't. Try walking your arms out and like resting your upper body. And you may not feel much there either because you're so hypermobile. Most of us, the rest of the room do, don't worry. Inhale to slowly back it up. And then we're gonna lift the right knee and flatten the right foot. Okay, now, Art just did this, right? I did it yesterday too, right? Because that's what typically happens, and some of you may have done it as well. So try to drop your sit bone back down, and if this leg crossing is blocking that, then the foot should be placed here. Yeah, it's no big deal either way. All right, hug that knee in, lift up through the spine. Take the right hand to the floor behind your back and twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw the right shoulder back, the left shoulder forward. Wind yourself around a little bit more. Exhale on that. All right, instead of doing that little get up and get down, we're just gonna stay on the floor. Hands can come behind your back. You might be able to crisscross this way. If you can't, then just sit upright and do the crossing of the legs. All right, let's just sit up a minute. So when I fold, right, I feel it more like in this region. When I'm sitting upright, I feel it more in this region, right? So it depends on what you're needing. Where are you trapping more of the stress or emotions? Where are those pockets showing up? And then test it out here. So what is speaking to you more? Because folding forward is not necessarily the goal or better. And then if you want to walk your hands out, or even be more yin, which is rounding and just kind of dumping the weight onto your left, feeling the head beyond the knees. You can also go there. Let's see that twist, but this feels good. All right, we'll bring it back up. We'll lift the knee, flatten the foot, and it's okay if that sit bone comes up because you may be able to settle it back down here. And if not, just bring the foot over. Hook that arm around, lift up to the shaft of the spine before you take the left hand behind your back and continue that twist and turning. And affirm mentally as you close your eyes. I radiate my love, goodwill, and compassion back home to myself for my own personal healing. Exhale. All right. We're going to set up for our Shavasana. So if you wanted a quick counter after that twist, you could have knees to belly or happy baby pose. If you wanted to set up for Shavasana, you can utilize your props to create Stonehenge or slide to elevate the legs, or you can prop the bolster under your knees and do more of that corpse position. Go ahead and set up for that. And I'm gonna turn off the overhead lights. So I mentioned the symptoms at the beginning, which was depression, headaches, fatigue, prophetic dreams, heightened sensitivity, and I meant to also say hot flashes. And that's also a symptom. But some of the good things that are coming as we ascend, you may have noticed this about yourself or a loved one. We're less focused on accumulating physical possessions. We're capable of letting things go a little easier or faster. We're discovering and holding on to our inner peace a little longer. We can find contentment even in the middle of discord. We're experiencing more connection and a sense of oneness. Less worried. Noticing more signs and synchronicities. And understanding the impact of our own healing. For the next few minutes, just bear witness or use this time to reflect.
Again, deepening the flow of your own personal breath. Create some movement in your body. Begin your exit out of this pose. Turning over to one side and coming up for a seat. The palms together to prayer position at the heart. As if the fingertips were like the flames that we were building up from our core, coming up into this energy center. Let that light burn bright in your heart. Om Krim Kalikaye Namaha. Om Krim Kalikaye Namaha. Om Krim Kalikaye Namaha. May we all be transformed from the fire that we built inside. May our karma be burned away. May any negative energy, any negative thoughts or entities in our sphere disappear. May we all be healed and transformed. Thanks you guys so much for coming. I hope it's what you needed on a Monday morning. Let's see. I am going to be out of town the week after the 4th, but I will be here next Monday.